we have the collective in studio.
Yes.
I've listened to this guy's music, and it's a bit that way.
What is
They
that
sound
way?
like they come from outside countries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope that we won't get lost in the process.
You're watching NTV GXP. Of course, if you want to get in touch with us on Twitter and on Facebook, NTV_GXP on Twitter, NTV GXP on Facebook, and the hashtag is
The
collective
Collective
GXP.
Yes.
And you can send in those questions that you'd like me to ask them.
Yeah.
I'll be doing an interview with them a bit later, so I'll be taking your Twitter things if you want to ask them something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now let's just talk to them for a bit. Hellos.
What ups?
How are you?
Brilliant.
Just to make sure I remember the names. Nelson, Amanda. Behind me is Ethan, and there's Paul. Yeah, I got them right. How are you?
Brilliant.
Tell me a bit about the collective. What is the collective?
The collective UG is a movement that's about young people encountering God and exploring the full potential of who they could be.
That's it.
That's
You have rehearsed it, written it down. It's very clear.
Crammed it, what? Made summaries, caned winter, what?
Okay, so let me just take you back a bit. You used to be in a group called HOP.
Yes, and that's pretty much where it birthed from, because one of the distant dreams we had with HOP, with the vision, was to enable other people, musicians specifically, to explore the possibilities that could come out of that. But the vision got a lot bigger. Like, there are many other things that people do or desire to do and have dreams about. And like, really the thought process comes from the idea that what would happen if people did those things with an idea, with a higher purpose for it, like connected to God, and you're doing that as an act of worship to God, not to please people.
So the collective right now is not just about music.
No. Music is our main tool.
Yes.
But really the dream is about creating a movement among young people where they understand that connected to God, the value of what they do can be transforming, can change a community, can change the nation.
So anyone can be part of the...
So
anyone can be part of the collective. That's
anyone
what I'm
can be part of
understanding.
the collective. It's just about running with that vision, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, I'm going to let these guys sing. If you'd like to be associated with them, you can feel free to get in touch with us on our Facebook. We'll be telling you about that later on. But you're going to do your first song. What song is that?
We're going to a song called You Are God. With the collective, we have this idea of extravagant worship moments.
Yes.
And this is a song which just talks about the extravagance of God's nature.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me get out of your way. Take us away.
2, 3, 4.
Weighed the mountains on the scales, who has given it all for my freedom and given me a new beginning. It's only you, it's only you, it's only you, it's only you. You are God, you see further than my eyes could ever see. You are God, you reign forever in your majesty. You are God, before all things to you no one compares. You are God, all my hope is in you. He restores strength to my soul. His love reaches us all. For the hopeless and weak, the poor and alone, they are close to his heart. He is always reaching out. It's only you, it's only you, it's only you, it's only you. You are God, you see further than my eyes could ever see. You are God, you reign forever in your majesty. You are God, before all things to you no one compares. You are God, all my hope is in you. You are God, you see further than my are God, you reign forever in your majesty. You are God, before all things, to you no one compares. You are God, all my hope is in you. You are God, you see further than my eyes could ever see. You are God, you reign forever in your majesty. You are God, before all things, to you no one compares. You are God, all my hope is in you.
Awesome. And now, this is a song called Stronger. It's a song about fear. Like, just address fear and tell fear that God is stronger. There you go. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, fear, why do you try? Why do you try? Haven't you heard of one who conquered the grave, and with that he gave strength to my soul? He determined the purpose for which I was made, and his light intervened so the darkness will fade. Now my life is in him, and my hope will remain. He is stronger. Received from you the one who said it was done, and now I walk in your light. The freedom you give is strength to my soul, 'cause you determined the purpose for which I was made, and your light intervened so the darkness will fade. Now my life is in you, and my hope will remain. You're stronger, 'cause you determined the purpose for which I was made, and your light intervened so the darkness will fade. Now my life is in you, and my hope will remain. You're stronger. Darkness will fade. Now my life is in you, and my hope will remain. You're stronger, 'cause you determined the purpose for which I was made, and your light intervened so the darkness will fade. Now my life is in you, and my hope will remain. You're stronger. Hey Lord, you are stronger.
Lord, you are stronger.
Oh Lord, you are stronger.
Lord, you are stronger. The next song just speaks about the love of God, about the width, about the breadth, about the height. It is like nothing else. It is like no other love. That's all we are saying. It's extravagant. cannot say what your love really is. It's better than riches, better than gold, better than a life filled with all I want. I know I am nothing without your love. Your son gave his life so that we would know it's better than riches, better than gold, better than a life filled with all I want. Your love is pure, your love is kind, your love don't ask the reason why. It's better than riches, better than gold, better than a life filled with all I want. I know I am nothing without your love. Your son gave his life so that we would know it's better than riches, better than gold, better than a life filled with all I want. Your love is pure, your love is kind, your love don't ask the reason why. It's better than riches, better than gold, better than a life filled with all I want. Your love, your love, your Your love is pure, your love is kind, your love don't ask the reason why. It's better than riches, better than gold, better than a life filled with all I want. Your love is pure, your love is kind, your love don't ask the reason why. It's better than riches, better than gold, better than a life filled with all I want. It's better than riches, better than gold, better than a life filled with all I want. It's better than riches, better than gold, better than a life filled with all I want.
Why am I the only one clapping? Eh?
You're the only one clapping.
Where am
I'm
I?
trying to show you how people are. Yeah,
Oh,
but that's
all right,
okay.
all right. Some of us are not clapping with our tweets. No, but if you get in touch with us on Twitter and on Facebook, it's NTV_GXP on Twitter, NTVGXP on Facebook. Tony, can you just can you just read some of the things that are happening online?
What name is this? John, right? You're blessed. The collective album, I really appreciate. Adam Smith says, I love GXP. I greatly miss GXP. Oh, you miss GXP. That's on Facebook.
Wide,
That's
yeah.
been from Arewa experienced the love power of God from last time after a long period. Arewa receives rainfall. See? Now people actually appreciate
No,
the
we
fact that
are
there's rain.
glad. I didn't say anything about not being glad about the rain, but let's not talk about the rain. Let's talk a bit of, let me talk to these guys for a few minutes before DJ Tony plays us some more music. Tell me about what you do in your, like, do you do music full time?
I do. I'm a sound engineer by profession, so I record music full time.
And the rest of these chaps?
The rest of these chaps do different things, but she's a doctor. He's a doctor. He's a procurement officer. The other guys.
So how did this start out? No.
Well, it really started from just an imagination, a dream of, like I said earlier, what would it look like if everyone was doing what they do well, what they're good at doing, and they did it with a higher purpose, like calling, like they have a deeper reason for doing it other than getting by. I mean, like just earning some money to live.
Okay.
But you're like, I really love doing this and I'm going to do it well.
But isn't earning money important though?
It is important, but I'm saying, what if there was a higher reason to do it?
Okay.
And you earn money while doing it, sure, but the reason for doing it goes
It's
beyond
not
that.
goes beyond the money, okay?
And really that comes from our mentality. Like, we're just thinking that if a social mentality changed to that, where people do what they love to do for a higher purpose, and being Christians, we believe that that purpose is found in God. One of our key scriptures is 2 Timothy 1:9, which says, "For it is he that saved us and called us according to his holy purpose, not because of anything we've done, but by his grace through Christ." The idea that he not only saves us, but calls us. So we believe that he also graces us for the things that he has called us to do.
Okay.
Like, he gives us the ability to be very good at those things and to earn a living from those things. Like, there is providence when you do the things which God has blessed you to be able to do.
Okay.
That's what we believe. And so we're just thinking, if everyone, because, I mean, the social climate we have around here is, you go to school, you study, the choices we make are really based on survival and not purpose. So we're thinking, what if there was a movement that encouraged young people to think more purpose than survival? And we believe that when that purpose is found in God, everything will be fine.
All right. These guys will be back in just a bit. The music, how do guys, is this music recorded? Is it available?
Yes, it's available for free on the internet. Just go to www.thecollectiveug.com.
Yeah.
If you want to pay money, there's the option. You can say, I want to put 100 shillings. Or you can put zero. And
people love offering.
Yeah.
They just all right.
Whatever you want.
Okay.
But the music's there for free, thecollectiveug.com.
Okay, they'll be back doing some music, but now let's cross over to DJ Tonjex on the ones and twos to just sort of play something that's all the way the other side. Yeah. Some time and talk to these guys for a bit. The other guys, other than Nelson, yeah, the other people, just calm down. Amanda, you're a doctor. When do you get the time? Because again, from all the things I have watched, Grey's Anatomy, doctors are just so busy. Yeah. They're just so busy, they have no time for anything else, they have no lives. When do you get the time to, how do you balance,
First of all, Grey's Anatomy is not lying. Doctors are busy. Yeah, but I believe that you make time for the things that are important to you. And I think that at the end of the day, you need to prioritize. It's like me saying, I have no time. I will not go see my family. I will not go see my friends because, again, I have a career to chase. And I'm reminded of a verse, I think, that in the Bible, that what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? And I think that sometimes you're so busy chasing paper and money and forget the most important things, which are the things that are not, seen. Relationships, love, family. At the end of the day, when I'm 60, I'm not going to look back and say, I really, worked in that hospital, wow.
I healed many people.
I healed many people, wow. The people will not even be there, and I need something else to show for my years. So I think that it's important to make time. It is important that I'm a doctor, and when I'm there, I do it excellently, I do it well. But there are all those other things that God has placed on the inside of us. Like, he's such an extravagant God. He's not given you only one thing.
Yeah.
You could be an engineer, and you can sing, and you can play a guitar. How sad will it be when, finally you're with him and you tell him, Lord, I really did that engineering. And then there are all these other 5 things you did not do. I think that life should not be put in a box because our God, again, is not like that. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I'm thinking, make time for the things that are important. And if this thing is in you, it's a thing that God has given. If you can sing it out. If you can write a poem, write it. Be the engineer that you are, but write the poem, Life is so much bigger.
So much bigger.
Yeah.
Let me talk to this other doctor over here. Ethan, how does, because the collective was talking about, I remember things like extravagant worship. To some of us listen in key phrases. and we don't need the whole thing. I remember things like extravagant worship. How does that fit into what you do? And what happens when you're busy, when you can't make it, when you're on call? How does that fit? How do you sort of move those things around? With.
Okay, yeah, I guess one of the things, like when you talk about extravagant worship, worship is not just the voice or the guitar or all this stuff which is happening here. Worship is a lifestyle. So worship is everything I am. So meaning, when I'm in the consultation room with the patient, and this patient has this issue, I'm thinking about the patient holistically. I'm not only just trying to treat his disease. I'm trying to find out about his life. I'm trying to find out whether there's something else which is affecting him, such that this person walks out feeling not only healed in the body, but also healed in the mind, in the soul, and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then when I leave the hospital and I come to now the instruments, to the worship, the worship which we
call worship, the one in quotes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm again really trying to give my all in practice time, in playing, in mentoring others, in buying stuff, which is going to aid the worship. Yeah, so worship is a lifestyle. It's everything. It's giving everything you can to God, because God has given it all also. Yeah. So we're His children. He's an extravagant God.
Yeah.
So we should also be the same. So when I cannot make it, because one of the key things about us as the collective is discipleship. So say me on the guitar, I'm trying to teach others, I'm trying to teach others. If it's the vocals, the singers are also trying to teach others, such that if it comes a time when, say, I'm busy, I'm on call, I cannot make it, we are never lacking, and I guess Jesus is our mentor, because Jesus just trained 12 guys. Okay, you could say 12 guys and then 72, but yeah, we could say 12, but now look at it, Christianity is all over the world because of those 12 people who Jesus mentored. Yeah, so discipleship is key.
All right. And Paul,
P. Meyer.
tell us a bit about how did you join this band of people? How did you decide to be a part of this?
When Nelson, the founder, approached me and kind of explained the dream he had and his thoughts about the entire project, the collective, and what it is and what he had within him. And I just kind of related with that. I feel there are many people out there who want to fully use their talents or fully get to their full potentials with what they have within them. And they can't do that because either they're shy or they lack the encouragement, or there's no one really pioneering or bringing that out of them. So when he shared that with me, I felt I also had a bit of that within me. I had
the shyness and the fear.
The fear was there,
Yeah.
but you see, as many of us grew up, we're all, like Amanda said, we're all chasing the money, the paper, more degrees and this and that. Yeah. And we kind of, I believe, when you have two people thinking alike or more people thinking alike, you have the courage. You'll go out, you'll go and push. You'll push together.
Courage in numbers.
Yeah. You'll actually push together.
Yeah.
So when Nelson shared this with me, and we were on the same page, and he brought other people on board before actually, we just talked about it.
Yeah.
And the whole collective thing, honestly, even setting of the dates, we actually did set dates and we didn't even know what we were going to do. And as the first moment approached, we had a collective moment on the 17th of Jan. As it approached, it's like that's when it actually hit us of, man, by the way, we have a thing coming. But I don't know I think we were ready, but we didn't really know what direction to take. That's when we just let God, just let go and let God do his thing.
So what does being part of something like this, again, because the collective is more than music, what does being part of something like this mean to you as a person, like in your life? You've taken, all this stuff away. What does it mean to you?
Well, being a part of this, we are mainly looking at not just the young people, I was going to say the young people finding purpose, but I believe there are also old people who still are trying to find that purpose. I look at myself, let me say, on the final day or the day that I rest, or when God finally asks you, what did you do with your life?
Yes.
Or will you tell God, well, I worked in an office, well, I went and worked, and
You were making working in an office.
no.
sound very
I do work in an office.
Yeah.
I do work in an office, and like Ethan said, our lives, the way you live your life, that's worship.
Yeah.
That's worship. But apart from that, I believe you impact the people around you. But when I come to do this, there are many more people I reach out to. Okay. I believe just by being here, just by going for outreach and talking to many people. So I believe on that day, when I, eventually
the office check and that other thing.
when I eventually meet
Yes.
my maker, I believe I would be satisfied. I believe he would be satisfied if he knew I used that which he gave me, just like the Bible talks of the talents.
Yes.
I'm using that. Well, I studied and I'm using what he gave me that way in office, but I'm also using this. Many people ignore this aspect because I do not know why. Many people have different reasons they ignore this aspect, but I believe if I can still do it, if I can breathe, I'll try and balance. I'll do what I can do, but I would also focus on this like more. I would also give it, strike a balance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. I'd like to ask Nelson a question because it's been on my mind for a bit. You are, quote unquote, again, I hate to use this term, but it's the only way to express this, a worship leader.
Yeah.
And you write worship music.
Yeah.
What at least we term as worship music. Why do you think that a lot of people, there seems to be a deficiency? Yeah, because I mean we're on Christomlin and Hillsong and all those things. Why do you think there's not a lot of worship music coming out from here?
Well, to start with the whole worship leading thing, this is what I believe. And I believe that worship is responding to the glory of God and the truth of God together, in the sense that when you encounter God and behold his glory, it's glorious.
Yes.
That's the very reason why those angel guys in heaven are only saying 3 words, holy, 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 because they don't have time to think of new words. They're just looking at something. They're looking at something absolutely glorious. You know what I mean? Like when something that's mind-blowing happens, like even just here on earth, like when someone does something awesome for you, there are no words, you run out of, you just, wow. Wow, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so God is glorious in his nature. And I think that in us, like people, he gives us the ability to do glorious things. For some, they're architects. They will design this phenomenal thing. And when you see it, you just go, wow, For some, they're doctors. And like when you go and get this treatment, you come out with this thing of, man, that guy, I don't know what he does, but, it's legit. Like that wow factor.
Yeah.
Others are musicians when they sing. That wow factor is there, and that's the glory of God. But it's just the truth of God, and Jesus calls himself the truth. He says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And when you combine the truth of God, which is like who he is, what he's saying, what he does, his character, when people respond to that, I believe that's what worship is. So to be a worship leader, I believe, is everyone's responsibility. Anyone that encounters God, just doing what you do extravagantly well, and knowing why you're doing it extravagantly well, which is the truth that you're doing it unto God, Jesus. I think when people respond to your ability to do something well, and your purpose behind it is true, you're leading them in worship. They're worshiping God.
That's some very deep stuff.
That's what I believe leading worship is. And I think, it's one of the problems we have, I think, in our nation is that we like to copy. You know what I mean? Like, unless a guy puts up a structure in town that looks a certain way, no one else is going to do it. But when that one guy does it and people are like, oh, that looks nice, everyone, that we like to copy. You know what I mean? And that pioneering spirit is missing. But I think it's something that we lack, like, from school. I mean, you do subjects in school to pass exams and go and do careers, which are not necessarily careers that you've chosen out of a sense of purpose, or like this is something you desire to do or to become. But just, this is how it works. It's like we have a set of rules and we follow them and we're pigeonholed. So in the same way, even that comes back to church, like, this is how music is done in church, and like music is not like this. So it's not that we're not thinking about it, it's just we haven't been allowed to think about it or given the option of thinking about it sometimes. Like the option has not existed.
Okay.
But like once the option exists and people ask questions and they know the truth behind it, which is God is glorious and he enables us to do glorious things. And the truth is we're doing these things unto him. It's Colossians 3:23, which says, everything you do it unto God and not unto men. You know? But like when you have that mentality that everything I do unto God. And sure, like it could be a job, you know, like something you do for work. It could be something you do casually in your free time. It could be the way you relate with people. All of that, all of life is an opportunity to glorify God.
Right.
Yeah.
So glory meets truth.
The truth of God, which is Jesus,
Yes,
and the glory of God, which is your ability to do something that's amazing, combined. When people respond to that, you're leading them in worship.
Well, some deep stuff. Well, these guys will be back singing in just a bit. We're going to get into a break. But don't forget, you can get in touch with us on Twitter and on Facebook. NTV_JXP on Twitter. Keep your questions coming in, your comments. We'll be reading them a lot later on. Or get in touch with us on Facebook. That's NTVJXP. Let's get into a break. When we come back, we'll come back with the collective doing some great, great music for us. You're watching NTVJXP. Good morning.